Welcome everyone to the AK Roundtable. Oh, another person popping in here. My name is Matthias Rawson, as it says there on my screen. I suppose everybody read that. But it's awesome to see you guys here this wonderful Wednesday. I'm going to start off with like we do every single week here, and it's going to be a win week. So, what's your wins for the week? It can be personal, business, it can be anything on a win side of things. Who's got a win for us this week? And there's no wins that are too small, by the way. Jimmy, go for it, my friend.
Hey, I just want to say, big win is just, when the pothole army, just having fun with it. The information is beyond what I imagined. It's great. So I'm happy that I got on that.
That's fantastic. Good to hear. It's interesting. I get to hang out with Judd pretty much daily, but the neat thing is that when I see people that get to interact with him, there's something magic that comes out of that interaction, and I'm glad it's pushing its way through to all you guys on that pothole hunting army. That's awesome. Awesome, Matthew.
Hey, what's up, Mateus?
Doing good,
Hey,
thank you.
a big win for me. Again, I'm also part of that pothole army. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing, man? Um, so a big win for me definitely is mentality shift. Um, Definitely like going from shifting my mentality in the way that I speak to people on actually trying to resolve issues and problems instead of trying to sell them for things. And going more towards that aspect has definitely helped kind of clear my view of the way that I approach people now and the way that I talk about asphalt. I provide the services of pothole repair and all that stuff, but my true job is to inform you on what's going on with your asphalt, how to make sure we restore your asset. So definitely huge win.
You have any examples of how that's helped you this last week?
Uh,
Can
so
you think of
so
one?
I've been yeah, so I've been practicing. I have not yet. So I'm still on just starting my business. We haven't got to the talking to clients yet, but I do practice with my spouse and a couple friends that I have, and they can definitely tell that the way that I definitely try to do the 80/20 rule. Definitely ask questions after questions so that they more or less tell me the issue because I already know the issue, but I want them to tell me. And that's by informing them and letting them know what's going on, asking the right questions. So
I agree with you. Daily, I still work on those mental muscles that stop me from trying to talk as much. I fight with it so consistently. It's brutal. I'm a teller in this world, but I practice as much as I possibly can to ask. And I think the asking side of things allows people to inform you versus you really ask, telling somebody this. When somebody tells you something, they believe it. When you tell someone else something, you know, it's a completely different scenario for sure. Awesome. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I like that kind of win. That's excellent. Excellent. Welcome, Matt. All right. Anybody else got a win for us this week?
Hello, my name's Thomas.
Hi,
I
Thomas.
also joined the Pothole Army last week, and I own a parking lot striping business. And after the with the Pothole Army introduction Judd put on a few weeks ago, I decided to go ahead and go for it and signed up for it. And I was looking at a parking lot, had a couple of uh, potholes, and I thought, well, I'll just put it on the estimate and see what happens. And I think it was three potholes, and I put them down for like $200 each, and it was accepted. And so now I am on the AK website ordering the R4.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
What was finding some potholes that you could quote on? Was that part of your action when your list ticks on your box, or?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out the ticks on that box. Uh, Judge got a lot of homework for us, and we're working through that list slowly. Um,
Good.
it was just a natural progression as far as with parking lot striping. I've been out to a lot of parking lots and I look at these parking lots, these asphalt parking lots, and a lot of them are just gravel and they've got big cracks, and now I'm in potholes, and I've been in business for 3 years. I've never approached customers with these problems, this last one I did, and it was very simple, and now I'm kind of kicking myself when I'm on a asphalt parking lot that I've completed and I see cracks, and I could have asked the customers, hey, yeah, we're going to need to seal those cracks or they're just going to continue, or alligator cracking and potholes. So
Love it.
last year I did my church asphalt. We did seal coat, asphalt seal coat on the church parking lot and striped it, and it looked fantastic. And we're just going to add it to our list of things we do, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I wanted to jump onto the AK roundtable tonight and see what that's about.
Well, welcome. I don't know if have you been on before? Is this your first time?
This is my first time.
Congratulations and welcome to the AK roundtable here. You're going to be able to show up anytime every week here on Wednesday at 7 p.m. So we'd love to have you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Thomas.
You're welcome.
Awesome. All right. That's what, 3 wins now? How many more we got? Anybody else got a win for the week? All right.
Hey, I got one.
All right, Dell, go for it, my friend.
Dell or Eddie? Am I on?
Yes, you are on. You are on, my friend.
Hey, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, this is
I go first, Eddie.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I thought he said Dell. I didn't go ahead. Go ahead, Dell.
No. Go first. I'm driving.
Apologize. You're driving? Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Today I done my second seal coating job. It was 3,000 square foot seal coating and a big patch repair. Excuse me. So yeah, that's my big win of the week, of the day, pretty much, of the month. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome, man. I love hearing when a guy gets his first job in, or the first one of the day or the week or whatever. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Always proud of you guys when you guys are pushing out those kind of jobs. Now you're just waiting for that check to come in the mail and you're
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Dell.
Thank you, Eddie.
Okay.
All right, Dell. Go for it, brother. You still there, Dell? There you are.
Yeah. My win for the week is still in, because I'm still in setup and getting everything all dialed in, and then going through the pothole army with the others. But was getting my AK dash set up, my Google Business set up, and the AI system set up. And just playing around learning with that. So, and just watching little puzzle pieces start to come together.
Tell me a little bit about that AI setup. What was that like?
Just set it up with the phone number for when they call in. It's the phone always gets picked up, the lead always gets processed, and it gets put into your AK dash, and then you get an alert. I get alerts also to my phone, so you don't miss them. And I had a couple of friends and family that I had them call in and go through it, and they thought it was neat. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people naturally, don't like AIs because they think they're in a phone trunk. But
yeah.
Even my brother, who notoriously hates talking to anybody that's not a human, said, you know what, for what you want it to do, he goes, I can see where that'll be helpful.
Right. You never know which one of those calls that you miss might be, $50,000, $100,000, to $1 million. Who knows, right? You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, brother.
Thank you.
All right, Cameron, you're ready to go, brother. I can see you're driving there, so be careful.
Yeah, I'm running a little behind today. Sorry about that. My big win for today is I've had this dude in the pipeline for no joke about 2 years. It's a residential driveway I think it is 64,000 square feet. And we finally got them locked in for next year. So it's huge for us. Oh,
2
especially on a
years.
residential.
2
Yeah.
years. Man,
Yeah.
63,000. That guy's gonna have like a 3 mile driveway or what?
It's crazy. It's stupid big. It's like a family compound.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's amazing. When things when you stick to something that you know is the right way of doing it and keep following the dang process, it's funny the little diamonds you mine out of those persistent, consistent follow-ups that you make with your customer, eh?
Bro, it is crazy. We were going back and forth forever. It was yeah, we're going to do it this year and then the next year, and now it's finally happened next year.
Sweet. Exciting, man. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have something to share for the week that went by here? All right. So I've put together a few different things that we could discuss today, and I wanted to ask you guys some questions. So this is going to be audience participation on this part. So this will be for guys that are new and guys that have been here for a while as well. So for the guys that have been maybe here for at least a season, what was one change you made this year that increased profits the most? What was one change you made this year that increased your profits the most? That's for anybody in this full year at least.
I got you. Raise prices. We raised our striping prices 50%, and we haven't really seen a difference in our acceptance or refusal rates. So raise your prices. We were too low before, and customers had told us that, and we just raised them.
I was going to ask the question, how'd you figure that out? But if your customers are telling you,
Yeah, customers are telling us. Other stripers told. That's a big secret in the striping world is pricing, but it gets around.
mhm. Awesome. Good feedback. Thank you. Hopefully that helps everyone else as well. Anybody else have something that they changed this year that made some good increase in profits? Go ahead, Hank.
Well, this is our first year out, but can you hear me?
Yep.
So definitely what was already spoke on tonight, the consultant mindset of the sales. I had a guy went on the website. He said he wanted seal coating and striping. So I called him and I said, well, it's late in the season for seal coating. You can possibly still get striping. I took a look at his lot and I broke down, okay, the first thing you want to do is seal these cracks and fix these potholes so we can stop the water from eroding your sub base. That way, you can preserve the lot. And then come spring, we can seal coat and do the line striping. So he said he still wants to do the line striping. So we're going to go and do the crack sealing and the pothole repair. And I have somebody come in and do the line striping. And come spring, we're going to seal coat. And he said he want to line stripe again. So maybe by then I'll be able to jump in on the line striping. But thank you. That's just that whole aspect of it, the building, having your number one goal as building long-term relationships. So, hey, I'm preserving the integrity of your pavement asset, and I beautify it and build a relationship with you, and we can maintain it, and it'll last you a lot longer.
Cracks and
and
potholes.
it's a lot more profitable for us.
You use the aspirin, which is the crack filling potholes, to repair
Right.
the risks, right?
Yeah.
And then you can push out the vitamins, which are the more long term, creating the long lasting stuff. So great job.
Yeah.
Great job, man. Awesome.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for sharing that, brother. Cameron, you got something to share on the increase in profits and what helped the most this year?
Yeah, so I would say obviously price, as everyone else said. This year I subbed out a lot of work too. Oh, can you hear me? We subbed out a lot of work. Don't be scared to if you know you can't handle it. I mean, get with someone. I think they call them performance partners in the AK table. But don't be scared to sub out the work. Just make a little bit of profit, or even go there and try and learn off of it. We offered more services this year. We ended up purchasing a dump trailer. We did a lot more driveway extensions. Even picked a few little driveways. And then also just upgrade your equipment. Put money into your equipment. Make sure you're more efficient. And that way you can hit more doors or get with more clients and just build your clientele.
Let me ask you something real quick here. If you're adding in performance partners to help you with that, what was your process in picking those performance partners before you put them to work doing that type of stuff? Or have you had those in your pocket for a while? Or just describe that a little bit for us, if you wouldn't mind.
So for me, and my business partner Jason, we're a little bit more particular. So I like to see people's work. I like to know that they do good work at the end of the day. And you just got to build a relationship with the people. At the end of the day, you're only as good as your word. So once you can get with someone and you feel comfortable with them, you see them do a few jobs, look at their work, and then just go from there and figure out a deal that works for both sides and everyone's happy.
Perfect. Good job. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the feedback. That's awesome. Anybody else on improving your business and what made the most amount of difference this year? All right. So I'm going to move into something more about marketing. So what has been your best performing marketing channel this year? So whether you're putting together Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google My Business, what has made the most amount of difference? Is it just posting? What is it that's made the most amount of difference to your business this year? Or what did you get the most amount of leads on? Let's put it that way. Hey, Ruthie, were you answering that one, or is it the previous question?
What? Can you hear me?
Can hear you, yeah? Can you hear me?
Oh, sweet. Okay, yep. How's everybody doing?
Doing awesome.
I dig it. My lighting's a little bad. I just got out of the plant, but either way, I said I wanted to get on because although I incorporated back in January, got all my equipment and everything in March, but I don't want to say I wasted the summer. I will say I've had to I'm weaning myself off of the regular grind, like 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be, and starting a business. And it is just me doing it for right now. So Dylan's coaching has been awesome, but I have to communication for me has been I guess even though I've only had a few jobs that have turned over, came to fruition. I actually just finished up the parking lot that I had I think 3 weeks ago, I mentioned, and it was a climb to get it done or to get everything where it needs to be, but it's complete. Made sure my clients were satisfied. I had to go back and do some stuff over, but they're happy. I'm actually about to send them a survey now, but communication, like I said, for me, just keeping. I probably sent them more emails over the last 3 weeks than I've sent in my life, hands down. And that might have been 22, which says a lot about. I've always shied away. What's his name? Was just saying before, not before me, but oh doggone it, he was on before. I can't think of his name. He was just, but he was saying about people, yeah, and computers and all that kind of stuff, and the keeping away from the tech, and I was like that. So I'm learning and also teaching myself that I have to be able to utilize that because it's helpful. It helps my clients, and I'm in the build phase. But like I said, communication is the biggest one. So I think that kind of answers the last one and this one that you just asked to tie into it.
For sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ruthie. I can't wait for
Thank
you to
you.
get that check. Be like, yay.
I have it. I have the check.
Oh, good. Good,
I
good,
picked it
good.
up Monday. So
Hopefully you get your
yay.
5-star review then too, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So
Awesome.
I'm like I said, I'm sending a survey and to go ahead and a Google review, leave that. Um and yep. But thanks.
Sweet. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what's been your best performing marketing channel this year? Anybody? What's the thing that drove the most amount of business? Cameron, go for it, brother.
Sorry, I'm not trying to talk all night. But at the end of the day, we were pretty profitable in most of our marketing schemes. And don't hate me for saying this, but to tell you the truth, door knocking was our best this year. We sold, I believe, close to six figures in just door knocking with all of our other things. And we averaged about like probably 3K every day we went out and we hit the doors. We had a lot of bad luck, honestly, with Facebooks. Like we ran good creatives and stuff. But we just had a lot of people that were price shopping. We tried this new thing this year. We called them mailers. We made custom envelopes and then custom trifolds. It had like a little bit about us. It had some information, some services, the areas we serviced, and those did really well for us as well. I think we had about a 200x on that. But really, to tell you the truth, is door knocking. Just get out there and just talk to the clients.
So that's face to face, get in somebody's face and talk to somebody, right?
Yeah, whether that be a door, and you're just looking at a residential driveway, or even the commercial lots, get out there. Don't be scared to talk to the bigger names, and just put yourself out there. Send them an assessment. Worst comes to worst, it's already a no if you don't ask. So.
Anybody ever gone to a door or done some door knocking before and walked up to the door thinking they're going to be like, nah, or they're just going to be like, hey, excuse me, no. Anybody felt that way when they walk up to a door? It's typically the first shocking effect to your body. You just feel like this. You're like, why am I even walking to this door? Should I even push this doorbell or this thing or whatever? It's like, what am I doing? I know that grips a lot of people when it comes to in-person discussing something like that or just breaking the ice with somebody. But once you get, there's a book called Go for No. I recommend to anybody. Go for the no's, because once you hit, 8 to 12 no's, you'll get a yes now and again, or you'll get a yes on the 6th or the 5th one or whatever, but you'll get the yeses. You need to go through the no's. And that, like the muscles we talk about, our brain being a muscle where you have to, practice in the mirror, practice with your spouse, practice with your partner or whatever. That same muscle is fear. And that fear muscle goes away the more you exercise that fear muscle. So go for no. Don't be afraid to knock on those doors and make that first contact as well. That was a great one. Thanks, Cameron. All right. Anybody else got one that has been your best performing channel of business, like really performed the best this year for you? All right. I'll go to my next one.
Hey, Matthias, I'll throw out, as everybody here is building their businesses and what have you with these different channels and different avenues, you'll see them change season to season. It's just the nature of it. So you kind of have to have those tentacles out. But for me, it's just being in the longevity and having the repeat customers. The customer that calls me up and says, "Hey, Matt, I need this driveway done," or "Hey, Matt, we need this parking lot done," or "Hey, can you go 2 states over and do our hotel for us?" So those repeats. So as you're building your business, Ruthie mentioned, communication with those clients. You may only do a $1,500 or a $2,000 job for them this year, but in 3 years or 2 years or 3 years or maybe 5 years, when they circle back around, you may be doing a $3,000 or $5,000, or they may be referring you to people that you don't even know. So that's that channel is what I always pitch is be professional, be clean, be on time, do what you say you're doing, so you retain those customers. Because a returning customer that just calls you up out of the blue and says, "Hey, can you come do my driveway?" My spend on that customer for that job is zero, and that's the most profitable. I'm not spending 500 a month or, $40 a lead or whatever the case may be. So just focus on that on your end game, on your long game. So anyway, I wanted to throw that out while you're on that subject.
Who here sends out Christmas cards to their family and friends? It's an older thing that not everybody does, but I think still a lot of people send cards to people, right? One of the things I've done for probably such a long time in my own business, like I have another business as well, I send a card that's personally signed by me, written by me to my customers. Now, if you get really massive, you might have some of your staff do that or whatever. But one of the biggest things that I find is that people that get a card from you on a Christmas, during the holidays, they're much more likely to maintain the same connection to you as an amazing person that does a great job, does what they say they're going to do, all the things that Matt just mentioned. But it'll just be that another little thing year by year, because it's easy to forget somebody that did a service to you unless they're being reminded of it. So you're top of mind. So just an encouragement, if you guys ever do want to do something that's a little more personal, that's definitely one of them for sure. I know some guys that spend thousands of dollars a year. I think Skylar sends out snail mail on a regular basis too. So I think it's definitely worthwhile for sure. Awesome. Thank you for that, Matt. All right. Here's something where just a little more of an exercise in thinking and thought for your own business. If your business doubled next year, what do you think would be the biggest bottleneck? Not the actual bottleneck. Skylar probably has it in his hand, at least his other hand maybe. But what's the biggest bottleneck that you think you might experience if your business doubled during the season this year? Where do you feel like the bottleneck would be? Where would it be the most difficult? Yes, Cameron, go for it.
So for me and my partner, it's actually going to be going full time next year. I mean, we did double our salary at our 9 to 5s, and we do well. We make six figures. But we last year what was it? I think quadrupled our original numbers, or 5x. And then next year, our conservative is 2x and aggressive is 3x. So just we're jumping in full time next year, and that's what we're hoping we can grow with.
Fantastic. So growing that next year, the biggest bottleneck for you might be what? Like, because I know that you're gonna come up with some problems, and I don't know if you've thought about what those problems might be. But what are your thoughts on that?
So this year it was definitely between commercial. This year next year we're really focused on a lot more commercial work. And then also just the rain. Like, we live in Delaware. The first, I believe, month we did somewhere between 40 to 50 reschedules. So just trying to fit all those jobs. I mean, when we have 6 jobs on the day, it's a little bit hard to knock out sometimes, depending on like the point of travel or where we're at. So we just got to really stay on top of our schedule, and just making sure we maintain all our proper systems.
So it's a great comment. I think you're right. One of the things that I can see coming out of that as a possible bottleneck is if I'm doing my work in less time, I'm going to probably need more people to do the same kind of work in the shorter period of time.
Yeah, exactly. Laborers, and just people that know what they're doing.
So I'm talking about hiring and training new people potentially, right? Because you're going to be growing the business. And if you have, let's hypothetically say you have 2 or 3 times more business than you did this year. Think of this for a second. I've been working with X on the crews this size, right? What am I going to need next year to do a double or triple the business? Am I going to need more machines? I'm going to need more trailers. I'm going to need more trucks. I'm going to need more people. Who's going to train those people? You're going to have a mill of few people. You're going to obviously have some that come there. You're going to train them up. They're going to end up leaving. So does that fairly describe what you're thinking as well?
Yes, but at the same time, we work 15 days a month at our regular 9 to 5, and then we have 15 days off. So in our mind, I mean, we're young, we work a ton. We work every day this month, and every other month. But we're thinking with double the time, we can do double the work as well, but without draining ourselves. And like you said, expanding on, because I mean, we're trying to build a business at the end of the day and not just another 9 to 5 in our own business.
Mm-hmm. Great. Matt, go for it, brother.
So I think I think you ought to pose the question, not instead of what if, just plan on your business doubling. So I've in my conversations with Judd and over the years on this channel here talking, you have different ways to gauge, how your business is performing and how to do things. And one thing that I've done is I've gauged by gallons put down. So each year I try to put more gallons and more gallons down. And what do I have to do to accomplish that? And so by having that forecast or trying to say, okay, I put down, 60,000 gallons this year. Let's go for 70,000 or 75 or 80,000 gallons or whatever your goal is, and just keep going and being able to adjust for that. And again, equipment could be a bottleneck if you're not prepared for it. Staffing obviously is a bottleneck. So for me here, we work 6 to 7 months a year, and then guys are furloughed or they just go and find winter jobs and then come back. And so it's just hit and miss on that. So once you figure a way out that's best for you, you can then anticipate and grow. And so those bottlenecks, I mean, they're going to be different. Mine this last year was equipment. So going from 2 trailers to 3 trailers to even a fourth trailer. And then also bulk tanks, having material on hand to be able to perform and put that down. So just those bottlenecks, it's a great exercise to think of what can I do to prepare, especially now. I mean, we're getting snow in the mountains and rain in the valley. So my winter season's on. We're cleaning tanks out right now. But just prepare for that next season during the winter season. So
awesome feedback. Thank you, Matt. So these things are.
Hey, and I see Skylar there with his baby there. Congratulations, Skylar.
It's funny because it seems like just a flicker. Had a couple of those, but they're all grown again already. Like so fast. One of the things about doubling your business, everybody should be planning on doubling and tripling your business. Obviously, the next year, that's the hope and the goal. One of the things that leads off of that is when you're not in season. So if you're in the northern states or in Canada, you're going to find that it's a seasonal business, right? What's your approach for smoothing out cash flow in the off season? Because if you're not planning on the off season, what are you doing with it? You know what I'm saying? Are you extending potholes? Sure, great, but you're going to have some time where it's not going to be quite as busy as, let's say, the summer might be. I'm not saying you're not going to be doing sales for next year and all this kind of stuff, but what are you doing cash flow wise to make sure that you're not going broke during the winter? Because if you have 4 to 6 months where you're not working, 3 to 6 months where you're not working, bringing in cash flow, what are you doing? Anybody thinking about that? Anybody got some feedback on that question? Yes, Matt?
So the class that Judd's putting on right now, the pothole hunting, potholes are excellent for the off season. You know, there are the portable infrared equipment and hot boxes and such. And I've got actually a truck mount 6x8 infrared truck that does a lot of work during the winter months. And just today I had I normally order about 5 tons of winter mix, which is a UAP or unique asphalt that is cold mix basically in bulk. So I just restockpiled my stockpile for the winter, so we can hit those potholes that do develop after snowplows start running and everything. And you know, for those that don't have actually the room for that, set aside a space in your garage or something and buy 10 bags of cold mix So you have a way to do some instant cash flow, pulling into your 7-Eleven or the gas station where you go to get your drinks and there's a pothole in the front there. Just go in and say, hey, I can fix that. Tell the manager to give me a call or what have you, and say I can get that done for $200. Go in the trunk of your car and put 2 bags in there for $70 of material and make $130 for 10 minutes. So that's the winter cash flow if you don't have something lined up or just kind of an idea. Anyway.
Thanks, Matt. I think this is a question more for people that are in this full time. If you're working a full time job through the winter, or whatever, it's not as big a deal. But if this is something you're heading into, or if you're going to be full time, you always want to think of your off season as what am I going to be doing? Am I going to be taking all those? I'm going to be spending every red cent I make through the summer months where I'm getting good, cash flow, or I'm be setting some of that aside in an account where I know that I need X amount during the winter so I can survive my mortgages or whatever I'm doing, payments on the equipment, what have you. Anybody else have some feedback on that? All right. I got another question here for you. It is, what job taught you the most this season and what did you learn? Because there's always that one job that you go through and like, man, that was insane, or I did this and that went right, or that went wrong, and I learned them. Most of us don't win the most from wins. We're like, yay, this one was super easy. It's the ones where you lose and you're like, man, this was difficult. And it was something I learned a lot from. Anybody? Yes, Ruthie.
Wait a
We
minute.
can't hear you. There
Yeah,
you go.
can you hear me now? Okay, yeah.
Hear you
So,
now, yeah.
like I said, I haven't had that many, but the one that I just finished, make sure that your equipment is adjusted before you get on site. Make sure you do a full run through. I had a situation where the Elite, I have the Elite crack fill RY10, and I thought that the shoe that I have, the manual indicates that it's the newer shoe, or the older shoe rather. I have the newer version. So when I put it together, I just thought maybe it was like an older, packet or whatever. I didn't realize it. It was out of adjustment. I lost about maybe a half a box of crack fill on the customer's lot. And I had to get a metal spatula, or what do you know, like the drywall tape thingies, with a blowtorch in hand and get that up, because obviously I couldn't leave it there. So lesson learned on that. Definitely make sure that, and I had it on a piece of cardboard. I did let it heat up on there, but it was on an incline. So, I turned around to do something else while I was heating up. I looked back and it just like oozed off the cardboard. And I didn't want to say it's a disaster. It was a lesson, and it was obviously something that I was able to fix there. But lesson learned: make sure that your equipment is adjusted prior to going out, and definitely prior to getting on the actual lot.
Awesome. It's funny. Most of the questions, not most, I should say most, a lot of questions I get asked are things that are in the manual for most equipment. And we send it, let's say if I've sold you something, whatever it is, it'll be in the manual. It's always emailed to you right with the purchase. Most people don't read it. I had a guy phone me today. He was like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this thing. I don't know. I was trying to start this motor up. Nothing's coming out of it. I'm like, have you, done whatever it was? And he's like, no. Oh, okay. Here, let me send you the user manual again. It says right on page 7. Boom. He's like, oh, I guess I should have read that thing. I'm like, yeah.
And I will add to also Rhino Works. They're awesome. They're, you just because I reached out to Coach Dylan, and then he gave me like the workaround. I contacted oh, doggone it, what's his name is not there anymore.
Martin.
No, not Martin. Oh goodness, I can't think of his name, but he's not with him anymore. But either way, not Lee. Oh gosh, I'll think of his name and put it in the chat. But he did. He walked me through it, and he was, I took pictures. It was like, okay, yeah, that's definitely the newer one. This is how you adjust it. This is how you do this. So, got me back on track. Those guys are awesome, and they sent me a part to it, like next day, because where I stowed the heat lamps. I guess the weld on there was a little weak, and it just kind of snapped off. I was still able to use it, but it was just kind of dangling there. So they got right on that and sent that out. But yeah,
That's
Rhino
great.
definitely worth the branding and all that. And they, like I said, to get right to it if something's off or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for sharing.
absolutely.
Anybody else have something that you guys learned from your like the biggest job or the job that taught you the most this year? Anybody that's been in business for a while? Any examples of lessons you learned? All right. So I'm going to ask this question because I know we have some people that are newer on here, and this is probably for the guys that have been in the business for a little bit longer. What's one mistake you'll never make again? Or sorry, not what. Sorry, what's the number one tip you'd give to a brand new contractor? So what's probably the biggest tip you'd give a brand new contractor? Is Matt still on? Yeah, you're still on, eh? What's the number one thing you would think that a brand new guy should know, guy or gal?
Um, just be I mean, I've said it before, keep your jobs clean, don't make a mess, don't walk on concrete. If you're seal coating or even striping, if you do spill, if your your line sprays out or something, make sure you have a steel wire brush with you to immediately, scrape that paint, whether it's water or oil, to just clean up. Just make the presentation, make your presentation like you're a veteran company, not a first year company. Hopefully that makes sense. So you're just think, you don't want to show up at a job and try to remove this vocabulary from your, or these words from your vocabulary. This is my first job. Don't say that. I'm new at this. Don't say that. You want to present yourself, hey, I'm in the beginning stages, or whatever you have to do. Just don't be that first job, first guy, present yourself, um, and just be professional about things. So, that's what I would recommend. Because for those that are new to this industry, there's a lot of guys out there that are um, will come into your town just for the season, do inferior work, make a mess, and they give hardworking business owners a bad name. So be that better person, be that better business owner, and you'll enjoy it better. And that's what I would recommend or say.
Yes, Maddie.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Amazing.
So I think this is a good tip. I just started in March, and I did something, and I probably never will go back ever again to this thing I did. But my first client, I itemized all the pricing on my sheet, and I talked to a couple folks, just trying to get an understanding of how to do things like that. And they asked to see it. I showed them the itemized list, and they were like, "Why are you listing all the things that how much each thing is?" And I was like, "Why would you do that? Why would you like not show the customer? Why would you not show the customer, like how much things are, to be transparent?" And he said, "Honestly, you don't want to do that because then they will start to pick off and choose what they want and what they don't want because something is too much for them or to meet their price point." And I started taking everything off as far as zeroing out everything, and just giving them one solid price overall, and that has worked for me tremendously.
The
So
project price then?
yeah, so like this is how much this project will cost, but I still itemize everything. I just zero out every particular item. That
Gotcha.
way, and rightfully so, that's exactly what happened on my first job. The person I was working with, the client I was working with, said, "Hey, look, I don't want this," or can we leave that off? And I was like, "Oh, well, by the time they cherry picked everything off, I basically was left with a very low costing job. So I didn't really make a lot of profit my first job."
Gotcha. Matt or Skylar, do you guys have any feedback on that? I'd be interested to hear you guys'
So
take on it.
So I over the years, I've gone back and forth on to itemize or not to itemize, and so I will put, so I'll just use seal coating as an example. We have area preparation, which is the cleaning or however, whichever way you want to describe it, and then we have the crack sealing, and then we have the seal coating. And so that would be the three line items that I would have on that. I would have all those on there. I might put, so I before I used to just put like a rough number. I'd put 2 hours of cleaning and then put the, $360 or whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, I had the same experience where the owner says, well, I'll clean and have it clean for you when you get here. So that was kind of a backfire. I mean, that we worked through that. So I go to square footage, and this is currently what I do. Is so if the property is 10,000 square feet, I go it's 3 cents to clean this for that 10,000 square feet. So it's 3 cents. This is what it is, and then I have it broke down that way. So I know it's hard to I don't think there's a one way is better than the other. It's just how you want it, because you might have a client that says, "Hey, I need this itemized," because they're shopping you out and they're comparing. And so I just never push back when somebody asks for that full itemized list, because I figured if they want me to do their job, they'll have me do it. If they don't, they're not going to. But I want to be honest and transparent with it.
Yeah.
So that's been my take on it. And honestly, I've had better success having it itemized than not. But again, it's there. I don't know that there's a right way. And Skylar, if
I think he's still
like
on, yeah.
he bounced, probably had to go change a diaper. So no, I mean it just depends. I mean, it it's what you feel. If you get pushback, then change it up for a bit to see if you're more successful on it. I've over the 12 or 13 years has been itemized and doing that way. So
Okay. Scout, do you have any comment on that, or are you available to chat? That's all good. All right, Sean, how can I help?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Um, it sounds pretty much like we've been doing. We went to Google Map and put together some quotes. And what I did, because I do the administration stuff, what I did from the Google Map, when I can see the whole parking lot, I would list how many like handicap stalls they have, how many of the parking spaces and whatnot, and give a grand total for everything that's listed. And what I'm hearing is that some of the customers want more of a breakdown per item.
So some will say, yeah, I want an itemized list. Some will, some it's neither here nor there for them. They're not going to even worry about it. So Matt was just describing the fact that you can go with let's say a package price,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go with a full detailed breakdown of your pricing. Like if I was doing line striping in let's say AK
Mm-hmm.
dash or something, it's going to be a line item. It's going to say line striping for X amount of stalls. It'll have this many, arrows, this many handicap stalls. Da 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 da. Here's your price. Boom. then you'll have a spot where it says seal coating, or you'll have a spot where it says pothole repair or crack filling, and it'll just have, there's X amount of linear feet. This is how much I'm using for paint. Let's say for your line striping, I'm going to, or sorry, your line striping. Some of you use 15 5-gallon pails of paint for this project. If I go over, it's going to cost this much more per pail, whatever. You can put a package price where you can break it down saying, okay, here's my lines, here's my stencil work, here's my whatever, right? Yeah. Did that answer your question, or were you just making a statement?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, because I was wondering if I needed to go back and redo it. Okay.
Hey, Sean, are you using, you said Google Maps, are you using Google Earth?
Earth, yes.
Google
Google
Earth
Earth.
Pro?
Yes. Google Earth.
Yeah, if
Yes.
you have Google Earth Pro, or I know that Dylan has that I forget the software, he could pipe in and say which one it is for the AI mapping and what have you. But so yeah, as long as it's Google Earth Pro that you're using, I mean something to that detail, and then also learn the you can change the date. So if on the image you can change
Yes.
the date codes on it. So if there is something you're like, hey, I only see one handicap, but I think there should be four, change it back 5 years or when the next picture was, and you might see. So anyway.
In the estimate that, because we intend on presenting an estimate, like I explained to the staff, if we said gas station and they have 10 or 15 parking spots, if we walk in and say, hey, I could do your parking lot for X amount of dollars, it would catch them. Like, okay, yeah, I could do that for $350, $400 or whatever the total is. So with the I had did a sheet where I have different linear prices, because one of the videos that I saw said that depending on how big or how small the linear price, you can sort of adjust your linear price. If it's small lot, you can go a little higher on your linear price. So I'm still using that formula to come up with my total, but I'm just giving it as Matthias said, a package, like a package deal.
Yeah, I would on like on painting and on seal coating, always have your minimums. So when you do pull into the
Yes.
station and you're like, hey, this parking lot only has 15 stripes, and you can
Yes.
know what your minimum is for your mobilization and be able to get there. And you could throw it to the counter person, write it on your business card, say, hey, we can stripe this here for you for 450 or 650 or whatever your number is.
Yes.
And then you don't have to count up the lines or anything like that. But I think that's just over time, as you seal and you stripe and you do potholes, you just learn. I mean, it just becomes almost you just learn that, hey, this is this. But make sure before you do put it in on pencil and paper that you run your numbers so you don't lose your shorts.
Shorts, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Skylar, can I ask you a question? In regards to this, this is about pricing, line item versus package price. What do you do more often?
We line item everything.
Line item everything?
Yeah, we line item everything, and then like our TNC has multi line items dependent upon full job completion. So like again, I heard them talking earlier about their point of like, oh well, if I do seal coat crack fill line paint, they just want the crack fill and it's $200. Like, no, yeah, right. Like, we wouldn't show up for that. We would just say no. This is all inclusive. You just gotta, you dictate, I always use the term, I don't negotiate with terrorists, right? Like, you dictate the terms. It's your business, it's your money, it's your time, it's your material. Customers will take advantage of you if you let them, but you just be like, no, this is a job, right? It's going to cost me money to just mobilize and get there and set minimums. So like, for example, you could seal coat a lot and say the striping's $900, and they're like, hey, we want you to just stripe it. Yeah, it's $1,750 now, right? Like, legitimately, that's our price. Like, we wouldn't go out for it. So It's all just part of the game. And I
Scholar.
think it just builds a little bit more trust,
Mhm.
in my opinion. Hi, Sean. How are you?
Hi, Scholar. Scholar, do you charge the same linear price for smaller lots as you do for the bigger lots?
We have a minimum price, so anything under, it depends what we're doing, like seal coat wise or crack fill or line paint. But so like say, yeah, I think that was a great example of like we won't mobilize line painting equipment for less than $1,250 if it's one line and one handicap box, or it's say we do 30 lines for that, it's still 1250. Like I'm just not going out for less than that. Same thing kind of with like our seal coat and crack fill. Seal coat, $500 minimum. So if it's a 10 by 10 and it's 100 square feet or whatever it is, like it's $500. I don't care if it's 2 by 2 paver you want me to seal, like it's $500. We won't go out for less than 500. So we have breaking points. So basically, we have our breaking points, and then from there it goes per lineal foot, per square foot, etc.
Perfect. Um, I like the fact that you said too that if you're the one running the business, so it's not something the customer gets to dictate. If I'm quoting and I put together 6 items to a project, and I've maybe discounted 2 of them because I'm like, okay, I'm already there. I don't have to demob especially for them, so they're not separated out. It's one shot. It's one, maybe it's a 1 day job, 2 day job, 3 day job. So I've got it set up. Boom, I'm going to show up 3 times. And if you start picking that apart, things go up in price because I'm going to have to show up more often, or it's going to be, I'm not going to make the profit. I had accounted for having 4 guys there. Now it's going to be only 1 or 2, and I might have my rig gone, so now I can't do it on another job. So yeah, like, does that make sense too?
Yeah,
I used to I used to work in an industry where I did a lot of engineered fall protection, and because of the way that industry works, you can't actually itemize anything because you can't buy those things separate. You can't buy them without things. But in this industry, I understand the itemizing thing because it does build trust for a customer. If I'm going to put together a project now, if somebody said to me, "Hey, all I got as a budget is 10 grand," okay, perfect. We can do filling, pothole repair, and some seal coating. Line striping is going to be next spring. Boom. Okay, well the budget fit that, right? You would build your budget, you build your quote around that budget, then at least be able to fit in the services they could have, afford to do this winter. I would never be going over anything. Obviously, not that would, you'd think sometimes people are thinking, oh, well, you're just going to, milk everything you can out of this budget. But no, you're looking at it from a perspective of if I come back next spring and finish up the rest of the project because you have the funds to complete it, at least you showed them the itemized breakdown so they can actually do it properly. Awesome.
I think that's a good point too there, Matthias. Like where most people don't use that for forecasting and budgeting, and like I would say it's a little bit of of the next beast that it evolves into, but it is one of the biggest things where when you have line itemized quotes like that, anybody that understands a budget and running a commercial facility are typically going to understand mob charges are going to occur and things are going to go up, but they'll allow you to raise the prices. They'll be like, oh, okay, we can't do this all together. Okay, great. What is it going to be for these 2 right now and then these 2 next year? And you'll be able to take your crack at it and kind of phase it out and get more out of it typically.
Another thing is about their P&L statements. When you talk about being able to forecast something at least accurately, and saying, hey, this is what this is going to cost. Even if you provided a quote now and you said, okay, the price might change, you might vary 5-10% by next spring, but at least they know going forward that you've got an idea so they can budget for something, build their savings so that when spring comes through, they're ready to shoot your PO over and get you on site. So I know that's been a big thing, especially if you get these customers that have annual budgets that they have to finish spending. Sometimes that's the way you can actually work with them on a fall and then a spring start again too. So
sometimes just straight prepayment too.
Correct. Yeah. And then doing the work in the fall, in the spring. Yeah, that's another thing. That's correct.
Yeah, full prepayment and defer to spring.
Yeah. I've actually built like $250,000 worth of anchors points and just dropped them off on site, and then we install them the next spring.
Yep.
So yeah, totally works.
And I've done some of the hotels that we do. I mean, we'll go ahead and spray the lines, do the line striping with the whole encompass it all. And then I get a check in the spring for that line striping. So I know, I don't recommend carrying anything on for anybody that can't do it. But if you're in that position to be able to do that and you have the clientele and the customer base and the longevity, that is something that can happen. So you're doing work now and it's costing you less, but you're going to get a check in the future. So I mean that's again, not everybody should do that. I'm not saying to do that, but I'm just saying that if you get to the position where you can, it makes a happy customer because they're complete and they will tell their other coworker or their friends and hey, this is other hotels because they talk with each other and so anyway, it brings business. So if you can do it, that's one way to do it as well.
The asterisk is don't have your customer tell their friend that they yield defer payments for them. Because that becomes a big ball of money rolling behind you. Ruthie, did you get your answer? All right.
I'll hold off on it, yeah, because I just realized the time, and it's something I'm not ready for it just yet. But what you and
Cool.
Skylar were I wanted to piggyback off that, but I'll take it up some other time.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. Did anybody have one last question, just a short one that we could finish off today, or are we pretty good for now? Amazing. Dell, you got your hand raised, my friend.
My question is I'm since I've like I said, I am starting this out. I'm starting to get contacted by different little agencies. Like I got contacted by that Angie's List company, and I didn't break out his pricing, and I got kind of in the weeds with him on that. What's your guys' experience with that? Because at the way that this guy explained it to me, the cost per and using a modest conversion rate, it didn't seem to pay.
I would say every lead source is what you make of it. I would say the biggest problem is most people don't know how to actually work leads to make them spin out money. And that's a very top level answer. I would say right now, if you don't have the basics in place, you're not ready. And I don't know if it's the place I would start. But, everybody has their opinion and, oh, direct mail don't work. Yeah, well, large companies spend billions of dollars a year on direct mail. It works. Radio, TV, billboards, they all work. People just don't know how to make them work. So that's the biggest point of it all. I wouldn't start there. Focus on the website, focus on the, hand-to-hand relationships right now. Focus on the brand, like wrap the truck, do the thing there. Like those are the big things right now where like Angie's List and all those things, will come, same thing with Meta, same thing with, PPC, same thing with outbound, all those things will, come eventually, but don't get caught up in the noise. And it can get cumbersome on just the maintenance side. And that's my point of what I'm getting at is like, people be like, oh, well, they just don't pay off. Well, it's because you don't know how to make them pay off yet. Right. Like it's just part of that thing where you gotta understand the game of like lost leaders and those type of things. And like, how do you increase an average ticket? And, like our add-on services typically pay for our marketing plus cost of delivery and marketing for the next client. So as soon as we deliver on service, it's full cash paid, right? Basically. But you got to know how to do that at scale. So that's where, it's another game per se when you get in there.
Does that answer your question, Joe?
Yeah, that actually answers my question. That was kind of what I was thinking on that stuff because I was never even going to contact these people yet. They just started calling me.
Yeah. And they're predatory per se, you know what I mean? They really can be, especially Angie's, bro. They're relentless. Like they have a pretty damn good outbound marketing team where like it is ridiculous how persistent they are almost. So I can give them credit for that, but Yeah, I would say just not yet. Like it don't make sense yet. Focus on the website and the local brand stuff. Like, to my point, I think I shared this last week. Like we did $1 million-ish and never spent a single dollar on like any type of online advertisement, nothing. Like very basic website, very basic, everything. Just build a brand, build relationships, like, don't spend the money yet. You're not ready for it.
Great feedback. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Especially with when you're new and you're registering a domain and you start, if you go and register for business licenses with your local cities and stuff, you'll get on these mailing lists for all sorts of, hey, we can help you design your website, we can help you do this, this mailer, this, there's, you could get bombarded, but focus on your business, growing the core of your business, just like Skylar said, and all that stuff. You can start incorporating that as you have budgetary growth, and you can do that, but don't focus on that. Focus on building your business.
And to not just give you a discouraging answer and some tactical advice, if you're not picking up the phone for every single call, you shouldn't be marketing yet. If you're not turning quotes around at a high level, right, like 5 to 10 a day within 24 hours, you shouldn't be marketing yet, right? Like those are very, very basic things that, like, if you can't perform them yet, like figure out how to fix the system to be able to do it and then do it. So that is my tactical advice to you're just not ready yet, of like, every single phone call needs to be answered. Every single lead needs to be turned around within 24 hours. And we need to have automation built in for follow up via email and text for all quotes that are sent out. If not, you're literally pissing money away. Your conversion rate will be shit. Your booking rate will be shit. Like it just won't work. And that's what I meant when I said you're just not ready for it yet. So that's my tactical. I didn't want to leave you with a discouraging, you're not ready. That's my tactical advice.
On that note, thank you everyone for showing up today and for being part of the Asphalt Kingdom Roundtable. We appreciate every single one of you guys, from people that shared to people that didn't, that are just listening and learning. We love you all, and I appreciate every one of you guys. I hope to see you guys here back next Wednesday on the AK Roundtable, same time, same place. Thank you, everyone.